Trickster, Native American Tales, a graphic collection, edited in 2010 by Matt Dembicki. Rabbit's Choctaw Telltale, words by Tingle and pictures by Pat Lewis. Way and way long ago, in the woods of Choctaw country, lived Rabbit. Rabbit was a funny, friendly fellow with only the tiniest wee bit of a problem. He talked too much. He would wag his tongue, wave his ears, and wiggle his tail all the time, talking. Rabbit just wouldn't stop talking. Fox also lived in the Choctaw River country, and Fox was different from Rabbit. Way different. Fox was responsible. He had a fox wife and 4 fox babies, and every day Fox would fish in the river, fishing for catfish. He knew if he caught just enough catfish to feed his family, Mrs. Fox would cornbread batter that catfish. She would fry homemade hush puppies with grape dumplings on the side. Yes, sir, Fox loved to fish and keep his family and his belly happy. On the day when the story begins, Fox had caught his catfish. He was on his way home to feed his family when trouble came. Catfish, from the time you catch it till the time you fry it, smells real bad. Pew-wee! And that fishy smell made its way through the woods and wrapped itself around Rabbit's nose. Sniffy, went Rabbit. Smells like fish to me. So Rabbit hip-hoppitied after the smell. He jumped in front of Fox, saying, "Give me that fish!" "No way! I've just enough fish to feed my family." "But you know, Rabbit," he went on and on and on. "You don't need all that fish to feed your babies. I just want 2 pieces as long as they're the biggest pieces. Okay, maybe 3, just half. Yeah, that's it. Let's split the fish. I take 4, you take 2, and I get to choose which 5 I get." Rabbit just wouldn't stop talking. Finally, just like all Rabbit's other friends, Fox grew tired of Rabbit. He soon realized the only way to get rid of Rabbit was to trick him. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Rabbit had a long tail, not at all like the little powder puff of a tail he has today. And I'm glad I remembered, because this is how it got that way. Fox took one look at Rabbit's tail and said, "Say, Rabbit, how about I teach you how to fish and you can catch all the fish you want?" "You do that for little old me? Truly true?" "Oh yeah, be glad to." "Great. First thing tomorrow, let's meet here after we've had our fish tonight, and you can teach me all you want. I learn a lot better on a full stomach, especially when it's catfish." "I like that plan. Mostly I like that plan. Better yet, why don't I teach you to fish now? I keep the fish I caught, and you can catch your own. That way everybody's happy." Rabbit didn't like this new development, but Fox was bigger, and he still had the fish. In the back of his mind, Rabbit also remembered that when foxes weren't eating fish, they sometimes ate rabbits. For one of the few times in his life, Rabbit said nothing. If you want to catch catfish, you go down to the icy part of the river, cut a hole in the ice, and stick your tail in. "Won't that be cold?" "Yeah, it'll be a little cold, but you'll get used to it. Just sit on the ice and your tail will dangle like a fishing line. The fish will come swimming along, they'll grab a hold of your tail, then you flip your tail and those fish will go a-flying. You can catch all the fish you want." "I can do that." "I bet you can," said Fox, and swoosh, off he went to feed his family, leaving Rabbit looking around for somebody to pester. But everybody else had already gone home. "Guess I better go fishing," said Rabbit, and he went hip-hoppity down to the icy part of the river. He did just as Fox had said. He cut a hole in the ice, but from the first moment he stepped on the ice with his bare feet, Rabbit hollered, "Yowie!" It was cold, Then Rabbit remembered he had to sit down on the ice on his bare bottom. I'm not sure I really want to fish that bad. My bottom and I get along real well. You could almost say we're inseparable. I don't cause my bottom any problems and he don't cause me any. That's pretty much been the story of our relationship going back as far as I can remember. Even with nobody listening, Rabbit just wouldn't stop talking. Finally, he talked himself into doing just what Fox suggested. How cold could that ice really be? Seems to me I heard about the power of positive thinking. Mind over matter. Crystal Cathedral thinking. Yes, sirree. To be honest with myself, I'm getting a little bit chilly in this night air. A warm place to sit sounds nice about now. I bet ice can be real warm once you get used to it. So Rabbit eased his bottom onto the ice. I knew it. It's slightly uncomfortable, but only on the edges. I bet you just have to get used to it. Yowie! Yelled Rabbit, leaping from the ice and wiggling his behind. That is too cold! A person shouldn't have to go to all this trouble just to get a few fish! Then he remembered he wasn't a person. He was a rabbit. Guess I'll give it another try. Rabbit eased down and settled his bottom on the ice, slipping his tail in the water. Rabbit's teeth began to chatter. He looked beneath the ice and the fish were swimming by, but they weren't biting. Then it got to be freezing cold. Something grabbed a hold of Rabbit's tail. I've caught a fish! Oh, what am I supposed to do? Then he remembered. Rabbit flipped his tail, but his tail stayed right where it was, and no fish went flying. Must be a big fish. I better flip harder. So Rabbit flipped harder, but his tail stayed right where it was. No fish went a-flying. I have caught the most humongous, wallacious fish in the whole wide universe. All I have to do is count 1, 2, 3, and jump. I'll lift that fish right out of the water. I'll never have to work again. Rabbit counted 1, 2, 3, and jumped out of the river. I'll never have to work again, he sang, leaping and dancing on the shore. Then he felt a cool breeze where he'd never felt a breeze before. That's funny. My tail always takes care of little breezes like that. Rabbit reached behind himself, spinning around and around, saying, My tail! My tail! Where is my tail? After 27 Olympic quality ice skate revolutions, Rabbit spotted his tail, waving back and forth beneath the ice, leaving Rabbit with that little powder puff of a tail, just like he has today. And that's how the Choctaws say it got that way. So, if you're the kind of person who, like Rabbit, just can't stop talking, you'd better be careful. You're gonna lose your tail. The end.